I forgot to turn it around. Hello, Sprinkles. How are you tonight? Alrighty, so this is different because this is normally the part of the kitchen that I try and hide from you, okay? We're at the sink because we're going to do dishes tonight. Oh, yeah, I know. It sounds lame, but just hang in there. I'll be right back. Alrighty. So, tonight, hi, we need a big jar. You don't need the rubber band around it. That's from something else. Some dirty piping tips. Soap and water. All right. I know this seems crazy, okay, but I put out into some other groups that are all about cake decorating, like, you know, the magic wand question. If you could wave a magic wand and make your biggest issues disappear, what issues would you choose as far as it pertains to baking and decorating? So many people talk about needing more time, needing more income, like wanting what they get paid to be more equal to how long it actually takes them to do stuff. And a lot of people complain about dishes. A lot of people complain about dishes and having to clean their piping bags and how to clean their piping tips and the couplers and all that good stuff. So I thought, well, that's something easy I can do. And actually, originally I wanted Connor to do the thing on piping tips for you, but he's at the gym, so we don't want to wait. We'll just go ahead and do it. So first of all, these are my piping bags that have been used. All right, and they have the couplers on them. This is not first of all, this is second of all. All right, it takes a while for the hot water to come up to my kitchen sink, so we have to let that run a little bit. But in my jar, just put in some dish soap, and you need a jar with a lid, okay? So now while I'm waiting for the hot water to come on, and I hope you can hear me over it, here's how I get my couplers out, is I slice down the bag. And I'm actually going to do this on all of the bags at once, rather than get my hands all dirty and deal with slippery hands and stuff like that. I always use disposable bags, okay? So if you have questions on how to clean non-disposable bags, I don't have an answer for you because I decided a long time ago I don't want to deal with that, all right? This is part of what makes it go fast, is doing all of the same job at the same time. Do you know what I mean? So instead of like slicing down one bag and then uncoupling and all that stuff, I'm getting it all done at first. This is my jar. I just take off the ring and the tip, and I'm going to drop them in the jar. The coupler also goes in the jar. And I wear gloves because, you guys know the answer to this one, because I hate the feel of buttercream now. That happens when you work with it for 10 years, right? All right. So having sliced down the side of the bag just makes it real easy to pop that coupler out. And then all these bags get thrown away. And I know it's not the greatest environmentally, and I apologize for that. I recycle in other areas of my life so that I can have this one luxury. So anyway, isn't this fun to watch? Hi, Mindy. Good to see you. Hey, so you guys, if you have questions tonight, just go ahead and pop them in the comments. Hopefully I can see them tonight. But if I can't, I will go back after I'm done being live and I'll answer your questions. But I need you to be really specific with the questions. So instead of saying, what was that? Or how do you do that? I need you to be very like, what was that thing you used to cut the bag? Okay, the answer is scissors. But you know what I mean? Because if I'm reading your comments later, I won't know which part of the video you're referencing, okay? So my water is scalding hot now. Ow. And I'm going to fill the jar. So I have some other ones from the other night that needed to be done. Nice hot water. And screw this on tight. Screwed on at all. There we go. I'm going to take these off now because they're all slippery. I'll turn off the water. There we go. All right, hang on a sec. Make sure your jar is not all slippery. Okay, so we call this the homemade agitator. They're all in there with the soapy water. All right, so we give it a good shake. I get my strainer, hang on. I just have a little thing I put over the top of the jars so they don't fall out. All right, still icky, all right, so we need to do that again. Add more soap if you need to. And then you guys get to watch me make a fool of myself again. It's really good for getting frustrations out. So, not that I'm frustrated with anything. And again, all right, so now they're just looking sudsy. So I'm not going to add any more water this time. I mean, any more soap. I'm not going to add any more soap this time. This is great fun for little kids to do. Maybe give them a plastic something to put them in. But the reason I prefer glass is because it's got to be hot water, okay? The only thing that is going to get the grease of the butter and the Crisco off of your stuff is hot water, like hot, okay? Not lukewarm, definitely not cold. And I use Dawn dish soap, okay? I don't know how much that matters, but it does. So that is one thing I kind of have to school Connor on every once in a while is I'm like, your water wasn't hot enough. There's still grease smudge on here. Okay, so sometimes they do get nested together. You just got to pull them apart and make sure they got clean on the inside. All right. I'm just going to do one final rinse to make sure I don't have soap on there. Okay. Guys, I feel so weird because, like I said, this is normally the part of the kitchen I try and hide from you. But, all right. And so I just have a drying mat here, and I'll dump them out on there. And I am going to, you know, double check things, especially if they got nested together, to make sure that they really got clean. Oh, here's one where everything was in one. So that one I'm going to rinse out a little bit more. You know what this is? It's a flower nail. Oh, I hear the garage door, so the boys are going to be walking in soon. They promised they would try to be quiet, though, so... Okay, so that's one way to clean the piping tips. And that's how I do them if I don't want to wait for the dishwasher to run. Okay? If I have time for them to go through the dishwasher, I put them in this. Do you recognize this? Sarah, who has a baby, should know what this is. Well, maybe not. I don't know if you're bottle feeding or not. But this is for putting baby bottle parts in and then putting it in the dishwasher. All right? So I haven't had babies for a long time, but I went out and bought a new one of these for this. So that's how we clean the piping tips. I do have these cool little brushes that fit just perfectly in case it's like really stuck in there for some reason. Okay, but mostly with the agitator, there's no need to do these. All right, then all those bags I'm just gonna throw in the garbage and take care of that. So let's go downstairs to the office where my notes are and stuff like that. And we'll talk a little more. So, more on cleaning, all right? I know different people have different methods for how they like to do it. Some people like to clean as they go. Hey, Connor, I just taught them your method.
Oh, my
your agitator method. So, shaking it up in the bottle. So, isn't he cute? Oh, here, this would have been better. There we go. Wave. What are you holding?
Aiden's homecoming shirt.
Gotcha.
It's a large, by the way. Was that right?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's all right.
You've got a large.
You got a thumbs up from someone. Okay, down in the office. Okay, so back to how to clean. All right. Nobody likes cleaning. All right. Okay, well, except for maybe my mom. I think she likes cleaning. She loves to be in the kitchen. But anyway, and we love her for loving that, loving to do that. So, okay. What was I talking about? Cleaning. Some people like to clean as they go. I do not. Okay? I frankly find it to be a waste of my time. All right. If you are somebody who is starting to do this as a business or has been doing this for a business, but you are constantly complaining that you aren't getting paid enough for the amount of time that you put into something, I have a hard truth for you. Okay. You need to get faster. That's how that is. Nobody's ever going to pay you for 12 hours to make them an 8-inch cake. It's not going to, I mean, if you find a formula where they will, share it with me. I want to know. But you got to get faster. And one of the ways to get faster in your stuff is just to batch your work. Okay? So a couple weeks ago, I took you through my week on how I do things. And so Monday, I grocery shop. I get everything that I'm going to need, both for the family and for my cakes and stuff. On Monday, so that I know that I don't have to run to the grocery store for the rest of the week, because that's a waste of time, because I can't be trusted to just go to the grocery store and come right back home. Okay? I wander around. I look at everything in the grocery store, and then I go, oh, Target's right there. And you know what I mean? So I do all my grocery shopping on Monday. I do all of my baking on Tuesday. Every single cake, every single cupcake, every single cookie that needs to be made for the week is made on Tuesday. Sometimes, if it's a slower week, I do all of my frosting on Tuesday too. Otherwise, I do all my frosting on Wednesday. Okay? Thursday, I crumb coat everything. Friday, I decorate everything. All right? We'll talk more about how I keep it fresh at another time. But the same goes for the cleaning, okay? I clean every day, but I don't clean everything until the end of the day. Okay. I own multiple sets of measuring spoons and measuring cups. I own multiple mixing bowls, all that stuff. Okay. And then I wash it all when I'm done. Okay. Sometimes, sometimes I need that mixing bowl again, and so I'll use that. Then I have to go wash it out real quick and do that. But I save it all. I end up with a sink full of dirty dishes by the end of the day. Okay, but then I just stand there for half an hour, 45 minutes, and I do the dishes, and then they're done. Okay, what this does is it prevents me from screwing up my workflow. Okay. So, if you're a home baker and baking for your family or whatever, you can still do this rather than, you know what I mean? So, but mostly the people that I was hearing from in the cake groups are people who are doing this, as a hobby or as a small business or something like that. And so that's kind of also how you get some of your time back, is by batching your work. It's also called time blocking. I dedicate a certain amount of my day to certain jobs, okay, or certain things that need to get done. Even lunch, I have an alarm that goes off to remind me to take my lunch break. Because otherwise I would just be like, I can get one more cake baked or something, and I do, by the way, I usually time it so that my lunch break falls during the 35 minutes that the cake has to be in the oven. Okay. The other way I save time is, when I'm making the cakes, I'm going to do all of the chocolates at the same time. And then I'm going to do all of the vanillas. And then do you know what I mean? Okay. I feel like I got off on a tangent, but maybe not. I got to find my notes here. Sorry. Oh yeah, somebody had asked very specifically, like if I had a magic wand, I would make it so that I can do this complete process in 30 minutes. Due to the time that it takes to cool your cake, you can't exactly do that, but you can make it faster just by batching your work or time blocking, okay? There were a whole lot of other things that people wanted to make disappear with their magic wand, and I'm not going to go into all of them now. I'll tell you what some of them were, though, because we will get to them in subsequent weeks here. But structure and transport, making sure it's always level, always structurally sound so that it doesn't fall apart in transport. Leveling and torting, getting perfect fondant every time, more time. Piping skills, time, baking, freezing, sharp edges in the buttercream and fondant. Stabilized buttercream, which means it doesn't melt in the heat, okay? Just stuff like this. So, hating to do deliveries, less sweet buttercream. Lots of questions about buttercream, about smooth buttercream, how to get a good coating and stuff like that. Part of that is starting out with a good buttercream, okay? And I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but I did a thing today, all right? I put my three top icing recipes. I have to say this quietly because I don't want the other part of my brain to hear me, okay? I put my 3 top icing recipes into a freebie for you that you can get, okay? But I would get them quick before the other side of my brain wakes up and goes, what did you do? Okay? Because normally I only give those to my paying customers. Or not paying customers, students, people who sign up to take classes with me are usually the only ones who get those recipes. You're welcome, Brenda. I hope you enjoy them. Okay. Now here's the key to the recipes. All right. Especially the buttercream. If you want a white buttercream, you have to follow the instructions exactly as I put them down. Okay. You have to. All right. So please don't call me and say, I made this recipe and it's not white, because I'll say to you, your butter was too dark, or you didn't whip it long enough, or you used colored vanilla extract. okay? That's the thing in my honey is watching. Hi. That's sweet. All right, now my face is gonna hurt. Yes, that's very nice, Lane. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's the thing in baking. And if you're a person who's a baker and a cook, you need to know this difference. In baking, you have to follow the instructions, okay? You can't, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That looks like about half a cup, you know, stuff like that. And if I give you a recipe and the measurements are in ounces, that's because I want you to weigh it out. Get out your food scale and weigh it out, okay? Don't complain that the recipe doesn't work if you didn't weigh it. Got it? Alrighty. Trying to see what time it is. 9:20, so we got 10 more minutes. What else did I promise you we were going to talk about? Oh, if you don't like doing your cleaning, okay? If you are lucky enough to have children in the house, if you're super lucky and have a teenager in the house who wants money for this, that, and the other every time you turn around, this is a fantastic job for them, okay? Connor gets paid to do my dishes, all right? My husband does not get paid to do the dishes, and sometimes he does them, but that's another thing. Sorry, honey. But yeah, the kids, if they're complaining to me that they want money for this or that, or they want to go to this tournament or that tournament, then it's like, all right, great. I have piping bags that need to be cleaned out. I have bowls that need to be washed. And I have buttercream that needs to be made. Connor also makes buttercream for me. Whether it's your kids, a teenager, somebody else's kids, a friend of yours, your mom, you're going to need to teach them how you want it cleaned, okay? Like I said earlier, I really had to drive it into Connor that you have to clean out butter and Crisco with hot, hot, hot water, okay? So there's that. By the way, in your mixing bowl, your metal mixing bowls, if they always just have that greasy skim on there and you just can't figure out how to get it out. You have scalded your hands trying to get it out with hot water and soap. You can take like a paper towel and put some vinegar, just plain white vinegar on it, and rub that around in the bowl, okay? And that'll help get rid of the grease. It also removes any protein that's left in there, okay? So if you have a recipe where you need to whip your egg whites, I highly recommend putting vinegar in your bowl first, okay? And then you have to rinse it, obviously, because you don't want it to taste like vinegar. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Sweet. Who made, did anybody make the, what did we make this week? Oh, the strawberry cheesecake bars. Did anybody make those? Honey, did you like them? So, just wondering how it went for you. What a great tip. Oh, you're welcome, Amy. I hope it helps. So, and I'm glad I could see your comment. That's excellent. Alrighty. Oh, okay. So here's another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. I have a lot of new subscribers to my email list, which I'm super excited about. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining the Sprinkles Club, okay? I am on a mission right now to create really good content for you for those emails. I'm going to send them weekly, so I want to make sure it's something you want to read, that you want to know about, right? So in order to do that, I'm on this mission to learn as much as I can about you as I can, as it relates to baking and decorating of cakes, cupcakes, cookies, and cake pops, okay? I want to know what makes you tick, what aggravates the heck out of you, what your struggles are, what you need help with. Do you need inspiration? Do you need cleaning tips? Do stuff like that. And I know that the absolute best way for me to learn this is to learn it directly from you, okay? So as I work on developing this new content and figuring out what it is that you want to know, it would be extremely helpful to me if anybody would be willing to either meet me for coffee or just jump on a Skype call with me and share this stuff with me, So I really want to make the newsletter something that you look forward to getting, something you're excited to read, something that will be helpful to you. And the only way I can do that is if you tell me what you want. And so I would just really, really, really appreciate it if you'd be willing to hop on a call with me or meet me for coffee. That would be great. So you won't only be helping me create really good content for the newsletters and for my lives and stuff like that, but you'll also be helping everybody else that I serve, because believe me, if you're wondering about it, somebody else probably is too, and maybe they're too bashful to ask. All right? No question is off limits, and if I don't know the answer, I won't make one up, okay? I promise. I won't lie to you. I will just say, I don't know. Let me see if I can find out for you, okay? Like somebody wanted tips on using spices and cooking steaks. Not my forte, so I linked them to somebody who can teach them that, okay? So anyway, yeah, so just leave a comment. Let me know if you'd be willing to do that. Amy, I would love the weekly email that just one recipe per week. Cool. Sounds good. And maybe tips on how to let your toddler help. I have a lot of tips on those, okay? I really do, because my boys were toddlers once. It's hard to remember that time, but they really were. And my nieces and nephews are a couple of them are toddlers, but yes, I've always had my kids in the kitchen with me. I actually miss them a great deal when they're not in the kitchen with me. Like when school is back in session and I have to let them go back to school all day, I hate it. I actually go through postpartum depression again and have to learn how to function without them being around. Okay, so I know that made me sound really weird, but it's the truth. So, kids in the kitchen, little kids love to do dishes. They really, really do, because it is water and bubbles and fun, okay? You just have to know. Let's word it this way. As a bonus, you will also get to have a clean countertop, clean cabinet fronts, and a clean floor, because you're going to have to wipe it all down when they're done. Okay? But they do. They really love to do that stuff. Other ways I involved my kids was that if I was working in fondant, if I had specific things to make, I would give them a little bit of fondant to play with too. Or if I didn't have enough fondant for them to play with, that's when I got their Play-Doh out. Okay, so I was working in fondant on my counter and they were at the kitchen table playing Play-Doh, and we were all doing the same thing. Okay? So yeah, Amy, I'll try and jog my memory on things that we used to do. I'll ask the boys, what they remember doing in the kitchen with me and what they love doing. They always love to stir. They always love to watch the mixer go round and round. I would pre-measure my ingredients and let them pour it in with a little guidance, So yeah, they're definitely, I think that's probably a big reason that so many moms of young children get into cake and cupcake decorating, is because it is something that you can do when you have young kids in the house. Also because it's kind of a cheap thing to start up, right? It's the cost of ingredients in a couple pans. So, by the way, on my website, there is a shopping list, because that's the other thing I saw a lot of questions about is, what do I need? Like, what tools should I use? What tools do you use? What's your favorite mixer? What's your favorite, all that stuff. So it's called a shopping list on my Facebook page, which is laurasbakingdelights.com. And you can go on there and it's all Amazon links. Okay. So I set up an Amazon affiliate thing. Just so you know, I will get commission if you buy from the links on my website. And I would appreciate that. That'd be really nice. But that was just the easiest way to show you what my favorite products are. But be careful, Amazon is not always the best price. Okay, so if you're willing to go out to your stores and look around, you know, shop around, maybe do that. Okay, Amazon is convenient. It's here in 2 days. But sometimes you pay a little more for that convenience, right? So anyway, Kay. So it is 9:30. I'm going to stop rambling your ear off now. And I hope that you have a wonderful evening. Next week, we are going to make key lime bars at 9 a.m. on Tuesday. The recipe for that will be in your, or did I already send it to you? Did I send it this week? If I didn't send it this week, then you'll get it on Tuesday. Okay. So I hope you'll join me for that. And you guys are doing great with all the questions I've been asking on my page. When does that end? I think like October 9th, my birthday, is when I will be drawing a name for the $25 Visa gift card. So thank you for all your answers to the questions that have #curious after them. It's been really insightful, and I just really enjoy getting to know more about you guys. So, all right, have a great night, Sprinkles. I'll talk to you later. Bye.